Hello. Welcome to today's midday mindfulness moment. I'm so delighted that you've joined us today. Sorry about all the adjustments with the cameras. Today, we are talking about happiness, and we're talking about how we can easily, hi, Mom, we can easily access our joy. And it may not feel so easy right now, but just know that through the act of smiling and laughing, you can elicit joy. And I just want to read you one of my favorite quotes from the mindfulness master Thich Nhat Hanh, who says to us that sometimes the joy is the reason for the smile, but sometimes smiling is the reason for your joy. And so that's to say that we can actively encourage the pleasure centers of the brain to activate just by bringing a smile to our face. There's a lot of science and research that has done, hi Angie, a lot of science and research that is done around the art of smiling or just the act of smiling, and how when we are smiling, in particular when we're laughing, we encourage the pleasure centers of the brain to come alive, flooding us with happy hormones in our adrenal system. And we can't have our amygdala, which activates the emotional regulation and the stress response in the body. The amygdala can't fire, the amygdala can't activate when you are laughing and smiling. And just think about when you were an infant, right? Laughing and smiling were two of our most primal languages. That's how we communicated with the world. We laughed and we smiled before we even spoke. And so when we get back to that primal energy that lives within us, it connects us to our authentic self. And your authentic self is truly pure joy. It just gets clouded by all the layers of stress and all the expectations of the outside world and all the things we need to do and take care of as adults. So let laughter and joy come back into your life willingly by just smiling and laughing. And so this morning when I was hosting my yoga class, it was all super silly. Oh, you're probably wondering why I'm wearing these. You probably think I've completely lost my marbles, but I've had these on ever since teaching this morning. We did a very silly yoga flow. It was very whimsical. It was unscripted and sort of very non-traditional, just to enliven some fun. And we did a little laughter yoga. If you're not familiar with laughter yoga, I'm not trained in laughter yoga, but I've done several workshops in laughter yoga. And laughter yoga is a branch of yoga that truly excites the pleasure centers of the brain, and by encouraging laughter. And so the cool thing about your brain is it doesn't know the difference between authentic laughter that's coming from a stimulus that's hilarious versus forced laughter. We don't call it fake laughing, it's forced laughter. And so when you start to excite the laughter response in your body, your brain gets really excited and starts to, again, shift into a zone where you're getting flooded with happy hormones. And you can't be stressed in that moment. So try it. Next time you're feeling really, really stressed, just start laughing, like force yourself from deep in the belly to start making yourself laugh. And what's cool about it, and I know I shouldn't be saying these words right now because everyone is very a little heightened and reactive, but um, let laughter truly be the contagion right now. Laughter is contagious. Let it go viral. And I'm sorry to throw those words out, but I want you to redefine contagion and virus and think of it as something that can be spread joyfully. And that is exactly what laughter and smiling is all about. When you walk down the street right now, people are kind of guarded, right? People are trying to avoid each other, and that's making some people act in inhumane ways. And reinvigorate the sense of community and connection by smiling at people or giggle at people or just find things to giggle at in your own world. And maybe someone hears you and they start to giggle too, because it truly is contagious. What else about smiling and laughter? Changes the brain chemistry, it unhinges the amygdala. And what's really cool about breathing is when we're in those stress moments, when we're feeling anxious or worried, or if you're sad and depressed, your breathing is a lot less efficient and fulfilling to all the cells of your body than when you're consciously doing some pranayama exercises. But laughter encourages deep, deep belly breathing. So if you think about when you're laughing, you always have to gasp, right? That fills you up, that replenishes the body with that fresh oxygen that it truly needs. And so, laughter yoga really encourages the awareness of how it stimulates the deep breathing as well. So not only through laughter are you encouraging the pleasure centers of the brain to enliven. Thanks, Vicki. You like my crazy ears here? We're getting silly today. It enlivens the pleasure centers of the brain. It gives you a chance to unhinge from your amygdala so that you're not emotionally reactive in that moment. And it's just fun. It's fun. It helps you to not take things so seriously and to certainly not take things so personally. One of my absolute favorite podcasts is called Untangle. No D at the end, just Untangle. And it's moderated by these women who are really wonderful. I think they may be scientists or social scientists in some way, but they bring on this panel of experts in their field, and they talk about a range of topics. And the topic this week was about laughter yoga, and it was so funny because again, it's one of those like universe bombs that was dropped on me, a pleasant bomb, where I was planning on doing this silly laughter and smile mindfulness moment with you anyway. And when I was walking the dog this morning, I listened to the podcast, and it was all about laughter yoga. So I highly, highly suggest you go onto your podcast on any of the podcast apps and look up Untangle, look up Monday's episode, and you can hear one of the experts in laughter yoga talk all about the benefits of laughter yoga for your mental and physical well-being. So that's just a little plug for laughter yoga. We're going to settle into a little guided meditation now. So I welcome you to come into a comfortable seat. Take a big breath in. Let a big breath go. And again, I'll read you one of my favorite quotes from Thich Nhat Hanh in case you missed it when you first jumped on. Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile is the source of your joy. So in any moment in life when you're feeling kind of down or sad or discouraged, just invite a smile onto your face. Notice the physiological changes that it can offer to you just by simply turning the corners of the mouth up. And we're going to do that now in our little meditation. So in your comfortable seat, let the breath be free and easy. Invite the spine to be straight and tall without being rigid or stiff. Just bring attention to the sensations of your body. As the body breathes itself, feel the belly expanding and softening, the chest rising and falling. If you notice at any point that the mind has wandered away from the sensations of the body, simply invite it back with gentleness, with an invitation of compassion and love. Notice how the breath feels coming in and out of your nostrils. Just cool on the inhale, warm on the exhale. Maybe you feel the sensation of the breath on the upper lip. And then notice the mouth right now and invite yourself into a soft smile. Maybe you're thinking of something that brings you joy as a way to encourage the corners of the mouth to tip upwards. Or maybe you're finding it really easy to welcome a smile to your face. Notice how the face feels when you smile. Where can you feel the muscle engagement? Notice what you imagine your face to look like. Does it change the shape of your cheeks and your eyes? Does the breathing change in any way when you invite that smile to your face? You can even try letting the smile go, coming back to relax all the muscles of the face, and then bring the smile back. Do that a few times. Relax the muscles of the face and smile. And each time you bring that smile back to your face, just recognize any subtle shifts in your mood, in your physiological state of being. And then hold that smile on your face as you bring to mind your very favorite place in the whole wide world. Just imagine yourself in that place right now, your happy place. Maybe you feel the way the air feels on your skin. You hear the sounds that you would hear in that place. Smell the odors wafting. Maybe you're by the ocean or in the woods or in someone's house. Just invite a great sensory awakening, what it would feel like and look like and smell like and sound like to be in that space right now. Take yourself there in your mind. And then imagine you look around you and you start to see yourself surrounded by all of your favorite people, your best friends, your partners, people from the past, people maybe you haven't seen in a long time, but you've been thinking about or trying to stay connected with virtually. See their faces. See them starting to come closer to you in this happy space. And look at their faces with smiles. They are glowing, knowing that they are seeing you. They are in your presence. And as they come closer, just imagine being huddled in this human mass, a big hug. Just feel their arms wrapping around you. Feel the warmth of their heart center. Notice how it feels to invite that love, that connectivity in this very special space for you. And after everyone huddles in for a really big hug, just imagine everyone takes a few steps back to look at each other's eyes and just start to hear them laughing. Just hear the gentle sounds of giggles and deep guttural laughs, and just imagine everyone smiling and laughing and just having a ball. What a joyful sound it is. Ah, everyone's carefree. Everyone's feeling light. Everyone's happy. Notice those sounds. See the smiling faces. Feel your own smile widening each time you lock eyes with someone so important to your life, someone so special to your heart. Notice how you're feeling right here, right now. Maybe feel some energy tingling somewhere in the body. Maybe you feel like your heart has expanded triple fold, just knowing that both you are loved and you have so much love to give to these people. Maybe in that heart space, you also are feeling grateful to be in this moment, to be thinking about and holding joy in your mind. Take a big breath in. And as you let the breath go, release that mental imagery, but hang on to any emotional residue that it may leave, any sense of pleasure, contentment. And then very slowly start to open your eyes. And just know that it only takes a moment to close your eyes, to create a little imagery, and just escape into a space that is familiar to you, that you know brings you joy. And you can find this moment whenever you need to unhinge yourself from a space of darkness or space of despair. Just take yourself to a happy space. Put on a smile. Do a little forced laughter. Change the chemical composition of the brain. So, one of the suggestions of the laughter yogis, it's a really nice one that I learned this morning on the podcast, was create a trigger, and not in a negative connotation way, but find a trigger in your house, and each time you lay eyes on or lay fingers on that trigger, that stimulates your laughter response. So one suggestion was every time you turn a door handle, every time you open a door, so instead of opening a door to like a pantry that's either bare or unorganized, or opening a door to a kid's room that you know is going to smell or be completely disorganized, let that stimulate a laughter response so that you kind of clear yourself of any assumptions and any biases and judgments that can really affect your mental well-being. But just start laughing, right? Don't take it so seriously. Just laugh. There's my son's room. It's a mess and it smells. And just notice. And because we have such wonderful ability for neuroplasticity to change our neural patterns and neural thinking, our neural habits through our thinking, we're able to rewire the brain instead of getting triggered in the sense of I'm opening his door, oh, I'm going to tense up because I know that he didn't clean his room and I told him to clean his room. You're just laughing about it. You just laugh like, oh, well, he didn't clean his room. And that signals to the brain to invite some joy into the moment rather than gripping on to the things that really annoy you. You're finding a space to just find a little lightness and levity into the moment. So it's really, really cool thing to do. Give it a shot, give it a try. Soon it becomes habit. Every time you see that doorknob or every time you pass by a certain window in the room or in your room, your house, whatever it is, let yourself find a trigger that will help incite that forced laughter, and just notice the changes that it invites into your day. If you're sharing the house with other people, you'll also know that they're going to think you're crazy. I've been walking around like this all day, and my kids are like, and I'm like, just laugh, just have fun. And it just makes everyone smile, just invites that contagion to the joy that you're creating. I want to end with a few things. One, a quote. I love this quote. Very salient right now. It's when you have 100 reasons to cry, remember that you also have 1,000 reasons to smile. So welcome that smile. Let that smile be the reason for your joy. Just bring it on by turning the corners of your lips up. And I also want to end with a very, very, very bad joke. This morning on my yoga class, my daughter was a special guest. She popped in every 10 or 15 minutes or so and told a joke. And it was so wonderful and so fantastic. And most of the jokes were inspired by yoga humor, really bad yoga humor, but it was very appropriate for the time. And one of the jokes, right when I was in the middle of cueing a Gomukhasana, which is cow face pose, she comes running in and she said, have you heard the one, or what does a confused sow, what did the confused cow say? And I was like, I don't know. What did the confused cow say? And she said, oh, and I'll leave you with that. So thank you so much for joining us for today's very silly, very goofy midday mindfulness moment. Just remember to unlock your pleasure centers by smiling and laughing and doing all you can to find some joy in the moment in today. So I look forward to staying in touch with you. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for your support. Thanks for being here. I could just be sitting here talking to myself, but I'm glad that I have an audience. And also know that tomorrow morning our 9 a.m. yoga on WebEx, which is totally free, has a disco theme to it. So if you want to come shake your money maker, come join us for that. Also know that tomorrow night is our Thirsty Thursday specialty class. It is a yin and zen. So I'm going to invite you into different really luscious yin shapes that are going to provoke awareness of the body. And pour yourself a glass of wine, and we're going to be talking about mindful drinking as we are holding those yin shapes. So we did it last week with mindful drinking with beer to support local breweries. Today we're doing it with wine, or tomorrow night we're doing it with wine. It's a great way to connect with people sort of in a virtual happy hour sense. And it's just a lot of fun. So I welcome you, and please reach out. I love you guys. And I look forward to chatting with you again soon. Bye.